I had an attack of imposter syndrome this week. And if you've ever had that happen to you, you know how tough that can be. I'm learning to thrive in the gig economy. Would you like to learn too? I want to tell you what happened this week because if it ever happens to you, you might be able to handle it a little bit better if you hear how I handled my attack of imposter syndrome. What happened was that last week I got an assignment as a fill-in editor for a publication, and it was based on the fact that the business editor had been somebody I had worked with about 15 years ago. So this week I started talking to the editors and reporters that I would be working with, and they all said, "Oh, you came so highly recommended. We're so lucky to have you here. Oh, this is going to be great. You're going to do so well. We're really looking forward to working with you." And the praise was so much that I actually started to panic. I'm like, what do they expect me to be? You know, I'm not that good. You know I can do the job, but I'm not that great. And I would rather have gone in with low expectations and over-delivered than to go in with everybody thinking I'm going to do really well and then just meet the expectations. It's a different feeling. And so I started to panic a little bit, thinking, oh, I'm never going to be able to do as well as they thought I was going to do. And but it went well. It went well. And they asked me to do it again next week. So I must have done well enough, right? And I wanted to share with you sort of my thoughts on how I dealt with my self-doubts. And what you might want to do if it ever happens to you. And has imposter syndrome ever happened to you? If so, hit the like and share button. I'd really be curious how many people have had this happen. But here's what I went in thinking. Number one, it's a 1-week assignment. These are people I've never met. I've done Zoom call with them. That's about it. So if I failed miserably, well, I'd feel bad, but I'll never have to deal with them again. So you sort of have that attitude. But the more important attitude to have, and this is what I rely on, is I said, I'm an experienced person in my field. I know what I can do. And I know what I do is pretty darn good. Now, it may not be something they like. I can't help that. But I'm going to do the best I can. And if they don't like it, well, all right, we shake hands and walk away. No big deal. It's not a reflection on me. It's not even a reflection on them. It's just sometimes people have different views on things. And we all have to understand that. And I thought if I take that attitude, when I have that imposter syndrome, that I'm pretty good, I know what I can do. It's in my wheelhouse. And if you don't like it, well, okay. But that doesn't mean I'm not good. It just means you don't like it. You have a different way of doing things. That's okay. And I find that when I take that attitude with the imposter syndrome, it seems to be okay. I just concentrate on the work, do what I can. I know I'm doing well. And then I send it off. And then I do worry until I hear back from them. But fortunately, as I said, I've been invited to go back for another week. They needed me for another week. So I guess I did well enough, which is always a good sign. How do you handle imposter syndrome? I'd be curious if you have a different way of doing it other than just saying, I'm good enough. I'm going to do what I can. And if it doesn't work, well, that's the way it is. If you've got a different way of handling imposter syndrome, I'd really appreciate it because maybe there's a better way of doing it and I'm doing it the wrong way. Please share it down below and like and share and subscribe. Please, YouTube really looks forward for that. And talk to you next week.